Alright guys, my name is Shervin. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the EQ Bank card in full detail. Now, I already made a video about this card when it was first announced, and in that video, I mentioned that I'm going to do a follow-up video when I actually get to use the card myself. And since I've now had the card for about a week or two, I've had plenty of time to test it out in the field and see how it actually works in real life. But before we get into my experience with it, just to summarize, this is a prepaid MasterCard that acts like a debit card. If you already have an EQ Bank savings account, this card will be linked to that account. And with this card, you can withdraw money from any ATMs across Canada without ever paying any fees. And in fact, if any Canadian ATM charges you a fee for using this card, EQ Bank is going to refund you that entire fee within 10 business days. Now, in the comments section of my first video about this card, there were a ton of different questions about how this card actually works. And if you watched the end of the video, I'm going to break it all down for you so you know exactly what you can expect. But of course, before we get into all of that, if you are new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the subscribe button down below and join the community. I make new videos about personal finance and investing on a regular basis. And by subscribing to the channel, you get to see all my new videos right as they come out. Also, if you enjoyed the video and want to support me even more, then do me a favor and smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. But alright, with all that said, let's get right into it. Now, probably the most frequently asked question in the comment section of my first video was, do you get the same 2.5% interest on the money that you keep on the card, or do you have to keep your money in your savings account until the moment that you want to use it, and then in that moment you have to transfer it over to the card? Because remember, this is not a traditional debit card where your money is pulled right out of your checking account when you're using this card. Instead, you have to take the money from your savings account and put it on the card within the EQ Bank app, and then you can use the card. Well, the good news is that you actually do get the same 2.5% interest even if you have that money on your card, which basically means that you could put all the money on your card instead of in the bank account, and it should work the same. You will still receive the same 2.5% interest rate, and you can use your card anytime you want without having to do anything. In fact, it's really weird, and I'm not sure why they wouldn't just combine the two of these, because it really doesn't make much sense to me. Why do you have to put it on the card and not keep it in your bank account if you're going to receive the same interest anyways? Now, as it is set up right now, the only time you want to have any money in the account is if you want to pay any bills, in which case you have to pull directly from your savings account instead of from the card. But again, I just don't understand why EQ Bank had to make these distinctions. Why not just have this card pulled directly from your savings account? My best guess is they just couldn't actually call this a debit card for whatever legal reason there was. And I'm guessing that's why they've set it up this way, but you do get the same interest rate even if you keep all the money on the card at all times. Now, another frequently asked question was, what is the maximum amount that you can actually withdraw from the card on a day-to-day basis? And as it stands right now, there is a daily maximum withdrawal from ATMs of $500. But if you're using the card to buy things, then you have a daily maximum of $5,000. Also, for whatever reason, you can't have more than $10,000 on the card at any one time, even though you could just keep it in your savings account and just put it back in there when the card is empty. But again, you get the exact same interest rate on the card and in the account, and you can't use more than $5,500 with the card in any single day anyways, and you could just put money back on the card anytime it's empty. So why does there have to be a maximum limit of $10,000? I have no idea. Now, as I mentioned, I had the opportunity to go out there and test this card out, and what I found was that some ATMs don't even allow you to withdraw that much in a single day. For example, I was trying the card out at a CIBC ATM, and the maximum they would allow me to withdraw was $400. Even when I tried to withdraw $410, and remember, I had not withdrawn anything that day and my card was filled with over $1,000, even then, CIBC would just not let me do any more than $400. Not sure why that was, but just thought I'd let you know that some places don't even allow you to withdraw $500 a day. But of course, you could just go to two different ATMs from two different banks and it should be fine. Also, according to the EQ Bank website, a day is from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So for example, if you live on the West Coast, it is going to be from 11 p.m. till 10:59 p.m. the next day. So for example, if you live on the West Coast and let's say you really need to withdraw a lot more than just $500, you could withdraw $500 at let's say 10:30 p.m. and then after 11, you can withdraw another $500 for a total of $1,000. So just a tiny bit of a loophole to keep in mind if you really need the cash for whatever reason. Now, there were also a lot of questions about if you can deposit through ATMs into your account, and the answer is just no. Again, I tried the card at several different ATMs and pretty much all of them didn't even have an option to deposit. It was just for withdrawal. But you know, never say never. Maybe in the future, that's a feature that we can see get added to the card. Now, there was also a lot of uncertainty about how the refunding process actually works, and I'm glad to say it's very seamless. In my own personal experience, and I tried the card at a number of different ATMs in different locations, pretty much every time the money was refunded within 3 to 4 days. And when I say the money was refunded, I'm obviously talking about the fee, not the actual money. But yeah, again, in my own experience, it was always refunded within 3 to 4 business days without me having to do anything, even though on the website it actually says that it may take up to 10 business days. Now, of course, another popular feature of the card is that you get 0.5% cashback anytime you use the card to pay for anything. And there were actually some questions about if you get this cashback right away or if it's going to be a monthly or even a yearly thing. And I'm happy to report that you're going to get the cashback at the beginning of every month alongside the interest, which is great to hear because none of us want to wait a year for our cashback to be deposited into our accounts. And also some comments were really angry at me for not mentioning the no foreign transaction fee, so I'm going to quickly mention that here. Now, not only is there no foreign transaction fee, but also anytime you're using this card to pay in a different currency, the conversion rate is going to be the standard Mastercard conversion rate, which is very similar to the actual conversion rate, which basically means that you pay almost no royalties for paying in a different currency. Now, last but not least, I wanted to mention something really important that I saw in the terms of service of this card. I actually went through the whole thing in preparation for this video. And in fact, if you appreciate all the effort that I'm putting into making this video, then make sure to give me a like below for the YouTube algorithm. But basically, there's a term that clearly states they could change their ATM fee refunding policy at any time they want as long as they give a 30-day notice. Now, just to be clear, I don't think they're going to change this policy anytime soon. I think at least for the foreseeable future, they're going to keep paying back all the fees that you incur from using the card at any ATM. Well, to be clear, any ATMs within Canada, not outside of Canada. But I honestly believe at least for the next year or two, they're going to keep doing this in order to attract as many customers as possible. But then after that, it's anyone's guess if they're going to keep doing this or not. In fact, if I had to take a guess, I would say they're going to probably keep doing this for the next 2 to 3 years. And then after that, they're going to give the notice that they're not going to do this anymore. Because really, think about it. This is costing them a lot of money to keep refunding all the ATM fees at their own expense. And the way I see it, and I could be totally wrong, this is just my guess, but I see this as their marketing budget. This is their way of marketing their product and making sure a lot of people are incentivized to sign up for it as soon as possible. Because this is a feature that is simply not found in any other cards across the country. And by offering all these refunds, they're going to get a lot of attention for their card and a lot of people to sign up for it. But then after getting attention and a lot of customers for the next 2 to 3 years, they're probably at some point just going to stop doing this. Or at least stop doing it at some places. Maybe they still keep offering the refunds at specific banks or ATMs. For example, they could hypothetically make a deal with, let's say, CIBC and say, okay, from now on, anytime you use CIBC ATMs, it's going to be free, but everywhere else, you're going to pay the fee regardless. There might be some change like that announced, or maybe they just get rid of the whole refunding thing. But regardless of what they're going to do in the future, I think they're going to keep offering this at least for the next year or two, and I think you should definitely take advantage of it while it's there. So if you have an EQ Bank account and you haven't already signed up for the card, make sure to do so and get your hands on it as soon as possible and start using it for all the amazing features that it currently has. And again, we don't know how long we're going to have these features for. They're probably not sustainable for the long term, so definitely take advantage of them while you can. Now that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see all my new videos right as they come out. Also, feel free to follow me on social media. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Shervin House. I will also leave a link to those down below in the description. As always, if you have any questions about any of the stuff that we talked about in this video, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I always respond to every single question that comes in. And with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.